Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We'll do another Bible study, 2 Samuel chapter 21. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, you can send me an email. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can just comment below. 2 Samuel 21 verse 1. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year, and David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, "It is for Saul and his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites." So you have to kind of look at what's going on in the Bible. See, Proverbs 26 says, "As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse costless shall not come." So basically the Bible was created, and then you had the flood. Then Abraham was born, and you had Moses and David. So you have to think that Abraham was given a prophecy about people. It says in Genesis 15, "And he said unto Abram, knowing of surety thy seed shall be strange in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve I will judge, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance." So God's telling Abraham, you're going to be a stranger in a land, they're going to make you slaves for 400 years, and then afterwards you're going to be a lot better off. "And they shall go to thy fathers in peace, and they shall be buried in the good old age. And in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full." So again, creation, the flood, Abraham, Moses, King David, which we're talking about now. So we know that happened in Abraham. God made a promise that he was going to take care of these people after the enslavement was over. And then we get to hear something from Moses. So if you go to Deuteronomy 20, it says, "But out of the cities of these people, which the Lord God did not give for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. But thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, as the Lord thy God had commanded thee. They that teach you not to do after their own abominations that they have done according to their gods, so shall you sin against the Lord your God." So God told Moses, you need to go in there and destroy these different people, because if you don't destroy them, they're gonna basically torment you for the rest of your life. And you can see here, there's the Hittites, the Amorites, the Amorites, the Amorites, and there's the Canaanites. God told them they need to get rid of all these people because they're going to cause a problem for you. And you can see here the Hivites, the Perizzites. Exodus 23 says, "Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in the land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if they serve their gods, they will surely be a snare to thee." They're saying, don't make any agreements with them, or agreements with their gods. It says, Exodus 34:11, "Observe now that I command thee this day, behold, I drive out thee the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Take heed to themselves, that you make no covenant with them, with the inhabitation of the land, whether they go, let it be a snare in the midst of thee." He's saying, don't make any kind of agreement with these people, because it's going to cause a problem for you and be a snare for you. Joshua 9 says, "And it came to pass when all the kings were on the side of Jordan, and the hills and the valleys and all the coasts of the great sea over against Lebanon, the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites heard thereof, and they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel for one accord. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai, they did work willingly, and went and made if they were being ambassadors. And they took old sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles, old and rent, and bound them up." So they hear that this war is going to happen, and they're like, how can we win this war? I know, let's act like we're from a different country, and we're coming here. And how are we going to prove we're from a different country? We're going to have old sacks of wine and wine bottles, and we're going to basically tear them and bound them up so it looks like we've been traveling for a long period of time. "And old shoes, and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them, and the bread of their provisions was dry and moldy. And they went to Joshua in the camp in Gilgal, and said to him and the men of Israel, We come from a far country. Now therefore let us make league with us." So they're like, how can we get rid of them? Let's say we're from a different country. We've traveled a far way. They have old shoes and old garments and old wineskins. They even got bread that's dry and moldy. And they're saying, hey, let us live with you so we can make peace. And the men of Israel said to the Hivites, peradventure ye dwell among us, and how shall we make league with you? And they said unto Joshua, we are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, who are ye, and where have you come from? So these people said, we're going to have all this old stuff, same from a far country. And Joshua was like, how can we trust you? And these people said, oh, we're going to serve you. We're going to be your helpers. And they said unto him, from a very far country thy servants have come, because of the name of the Lord your God. For we have heard the fame of him, and all he did in Egypt, and all he did to the 2 kings of the Amorites that were beyond Jordan, to Sihon, to the king of Heshbon, and to Og the king of Bashan, who was in Ashtaroth. So they're saying, oh, we came from a far country because we want to serve you because your God told us to. Wherefore our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spoke to us, saying, take victuals with you in the country, go to meet them, and saith that we are your servants therefore now, and make a league with us. This is our bread we took from our provisions from our houses the day we came forth to go unto you. And look, behold, it is dry and it's moldy. So they're saying, God told us to come here. And look, here's the proof. We have old clothes and we have old wineskins, and even our bread that we brought to keep us alive is all dry and moldy. And these bottles of wine which were filled were new, and behold, they're now rent. And these garments and our shoes have become old by reason of the very long journey. And the men took their victuals, and asked not counsel to the mouth of the Lord. And Joshua made peace with them, and made a league with them, to let live, and to prince the congregation swear to them. So they told Joshua this, and before Joshua even went to the Lord to ask him, he distrusted him. Okay, and made an agreement with him, even though God told him, don't make an agreement with him. Joshua got tricked by the Gibeonites. They had old shoes and dried moldy bread. They said they got a letter from the king. They wore these dirty clothes. They had some money. They didn't ask God. They had dried and cracked wineskins and old sacks. They had old clothes, but they didn't ask the Lord. Proverbs 3:6 says, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. So there ended up being a battle of the 5 kings in Joshua 10 because of this. And you can see now, there's a good portion of these people that live all over Jerusalem, all over the Israel. And it says unto this day, they're still there today. 2 Chronicles 19 says, and Jehu the son of Hanani the seer went out to meet him. And he said to King Jehoshaphat, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord? Wherefore it is wrath upon thee from before the Lord. Proverbs 6 says, my son, if thou surely be thy friend, for thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth, and thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself when they come to the hand of thy friend. Go humble thyself, and make sure their friend. Give them not sleep to thine eye, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself to a roe from the hand of the hunter, as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Proverbs 22. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare into thy soul. Be not thou that strike the hands of them that are sickles or dead. So back to 2 Samuel 21 and verse 2. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not the children of Israel, but the remnants of the Amorites. And the children of Israel have sworn unto them. And Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah. Wherefore David said to the Gibeonites, what shall I do to you, and wherewithal shall I make an atonement that may bless the inheritance of the Lord? And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver, nor gold of Saul, nor his house. Neither for us shalt thou kill any man of Israel, for he said, I shall make it thou what I'll do for you. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us, that devised against us that we should be destroyed from remaining in the days of the coast of Israel, let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us. We will hang them to the Lord in Gibel and Saul, when the Lord did chose, and the king said, I will give thee. So David said, listen, we don't want to fight anymore. What can we do to stop this fighting? And these people said, Saul destroyed us. Saul was really mean to us. give us 7 sons of Saul. We're going to hang them, and that'll basically make an agreement. We'll be even now. There'll be no more fighting. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the Lord's oath that was between them, between Saul and Jonathan, the son of Saul. You remember Mephibosheth was Jonathan's son, and David took him in because he was handicapped. But the king took the 2 sons of Rapha, the daughter of Ai, whom she bare to Saul, Armani and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up from Edreel, from the son of Barzal the Mennonite. So he took 2 sons from one daughter and 5 sons from another daughter to give to these people. And he delivered them to the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hung them in the hills before the Lord. And they fell all 7 together, and were put to death in the days of harvest, for the first days of the beginning of the barley harvest. And Rapaz, the daughter of Anah, took a sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock upon the beginning of the harvest, until the water droplets upon them from the heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. So she tried to protect these people, so that way the animals and the birds didn't eat them. And it was told to David what Rapha, the daughter of Anah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which he had stolen from them from the streets of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hung them, and the Philistines have slain Saul and Gibeon. And he brought up the heads of the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son, and he gathered the bones of them that were hung, all the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son, buried there in the country of Benjamin, in Zalah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father. And they performed all the king's commandments, and after that God was entreated for the land. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him had waxed against the Philistines, and David waxed faint. And Ishbosheth, which was one of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spears weighed 300 shekels of brass weight, was being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. Now you see I put a little 2 there next to this giant. There's a reason I did that. Well, first of all, how much does a weight of pounds of 300 shekels? This spear would be 7.5 pounds. So if you go to 1 Samuel 17, because he took his staff in his hand, and he chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put him in a shepherd's bag which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in the hands, and he drew near to the Philistine. So David was to fight Goliath, this giant. And he took 5 smooth stones from the brook. And people always say, well, why did he take 5 smooth stones from the brook? Well, this is why. 1 stone was for giant, and the other 4 stones was for giant's family. We'll see here. You already saw number 2. So if you go to 1 Samuel 21:17, but Abias the son of Zeruiah scolded him, and smote the Philistine and killed him. Number 3. Then the men of David swore to him by saying, Thou shalt not go more with us to battle, that thou shalt quench not the light of darkness. And it came to pass after this that there was a battle with the Philistines at Gob, when Sacrabah the Hittite slew Saph, number 4, which was one of the sons of the giants. And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Eliab the son of Jarogim, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite, that's number 5, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. So David took these 5 stones because he was worried that if he killed Goliath, Goliath's 4 family members were going to come after him as well, so he had to have a rock for each one of them. So if you actually compare the King James with the other verses, who killed Goliath? King James says, and there was again a battle in Gob, and the Philistine, for Elianan the son of Jotham, the Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite with a staff that was a spear like a weaver's beam. Well, if you go to NIV, it says, Elohim the son of Jeroboam the Bethlehemite killed Goliath the Gittite. And the NASB and all the other versions pretty much say the same thing. If you go to the NASB, it says Eliab killed Goliath the Gittite. So that's wrong. 1 Samuel 21:20. And there was yet a battle at Gath, where a man of great stature, he had on every hand 6 fingers, on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number, and he was also born to the giants. And when he defiled Israel, Jonathan the son of Shemaiah, the brother of David, slew him. And these 4 were born to the giant of Gath. and fell by the hands of David, by the hands of his servants. So in this chapter, 7 sons of Saul died, and 4 of Goliath's brothers died. You're also going to die one day, and that's 100% certain. So get your life right with Christ. Well, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can email me, you can comment below. If you haven't done so yet, please like, share, subscribe, click that bell. You know, I have people all the time share my videos on social media, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. If you have a friend that might want to hear, email to them. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen here. The bottom left, or the bottom right is going to be the 2 Samuel Bible study. The top left is going to be the 1 Samuel Bible study. And the bottom left is going to be a video YouTube thinks you're going to like. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.